Hola clase! Bienvenido a la clase de español. Me llamo Señor Dalton, and if you are watching this, you are in my Spanish class. Hola, this video is for Spanish language students by a Spanish teacher that learns Spanish just like you. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about accent marks. Los acentos are used for three different reasons in Spanish. They are to indicate that a word does not follow the rules of stress. For example, lápiz. Okay, the stress should normally fall on the I, but in this case, it falls over the A, and so we have to place an accent mark above the A to indicate that. Accent marks are also used when there's a change in meaning from another word. So for example, sí. Sí with an accent mark means yes, but sí without an accent mark means if. And so you need to indicate which one you're using. So if you have an accent, it's yes. If you don't have an accent, it's if. All right. Another example is el and el. The first one with an accent mark means he. The second one without an accent mark means the. We have to be very specific with the accent just to show what we're meaning in our word. The third reason we use accent marks are for question words. Every question word has an accent mark, such as cuando. Cuando means when. And que means what. So let's talk a little bit more about that first reason. Accent marks are used to show when the stress of the word falls someplace where it normally does not. And so there are four different rules that we're going to use to figure out where and when we're going to use an accent mark. So the first rule, rule number one, Spanish accents, which are also known as tildes, are used with the five vowels, a, e, I, o, u. All right, and they are written from the lower left to the upper right. Okay, and so you can see on the example here behind me, a, e, I, o, u, each one has an accent mark above it. Rule number two, when words end in a vowel, the letter N or the letter S, the stress of the word is naturally going to fall on the second to last syllable. And because that's where it naturally falls, we don't require a tilde. You don't require to write an accent mark. An example is bonito. The word ends with O, which is a vowel. So the stress is going to be on the second to last syllable, the I, bonito. Okay, so you got to stress that I. Rule number three, when words end in a consonant that isn't N or S, the stress naturally falls on the last syllable, and it doesn't require a tilde or an accent mark. So for example, la edad, okay, edad. So that means age, and since it ends in a consonant, the letter D, the syllable that's going to be stressed is the A, the last A there. So edad. I have to put that stress on that very last syllable, edad. And because that's where it naturally falls, and it follows the rule, we don't have to have an accent mark. Okay, rule number four. We're going to add tildes or accent marks when the word stress doesn't follow rule number two or rule number three, meaning that the stress doesn't lie where it normally should. Okay, and so for example, fácil. Okay, so fácil means easy, and because it ends in a consonant, it should follow rule number three, right? The stress would be on that last syllable, the I, but it doesn't. And because it doesn't, because the stress is on the A, we have to put an accent mark there, or a tilde, all right? And so it becomes fácil. Es fácil hacerlo. It is easy to do it. Let's go on to the second reason that we use accent marks, to distinguish the meaning of words that are spelled the same. So earlier I talked about el and el. El without an accent mark means the. El niño es rubio. Okay, el niño being the boy. Okay, if it is written with an accent mark, it becomes the personal pronoun he. So él es tímido. Okay, he is shy. Another example would be tu. Tu and tu. They both sound the same, but because one of them has an accent and one of them doesn't, they mean two different things. Tu without an accent mark is a possessive adjective. It means your. Tu casa es blanca. Okay? Your house is white. Tu with an accent mark is the subject pronoun. Okay? And it means you. So tu bailas muy bien. You dance very well. Alright, another example where words change meanings based on accent marks, me and me. They both sound the same, but the first one without an accent mark is a possessive adjective. It means my. Mi coche es rojo. My car is red. Me with an accent mark is a subject pronoun. It means me. Okay, el regalo es para mí. The gift is for me. Okay, so for our last example, we have te and te. Both of them sound exactly the same, but an accent mark changes its meaning. So te, without the accent mark, the tilde, is a reflexive pronoun. It means to you. Te dije la verdad. I told you the truth. Okay? Te with an accent mark is a noun. It means tea, like the drink. Me gusta tomar té. I like to drink tea. Okay, so the last reason that we would use accent marks are for question words. All the question words that we use in Spanish are going to have an accent somewhere within the word. So for example, let's look at por qué. Por qué means why, and it has an accent over the last E. If it didn't have this accent mark, that word, por qué, would mean because. Como. Como means how. But if we don't have that accent mark over the first O, then it's going to mean either I eat or like. Cuál means which, and there's an accent over the A. Quién. Quién has an accent over the E, and it means who. Que. Que has an accent over the E, and it means which. Cuando. Cuando means when, and there's an accent over the A. And then there's cuánto. Cuánto has an accent over the A, and it means how much or how many. And so that's it. That's all you have to know about accent marks to be able to use them in Spanish. Now, a lot of my students will ask me, well, I don't know when to use the accent mark. Well, these are kind of the rules here, but honestly, as you're learning Spanish, as you're learning how to spell these words, you'll just kind of learn it word by word. That's really it. You know, sometimes you'll find words where there's, it has two different meanings. You'll have to figure out which one of those two words has the accent. You just got to memorize it. It takes time. It takes a lot of studying and hard work. All right, so that's it for us today. I hope you enjoy this video. I'm sorry, Señor, I wasn't able to get you in this one. I will get you in the next one, I promise. All right, adios.